Hello and welcome to episode 13 of my A to Z stitch series. We're on M this week and we're learning the mini bean stitch. Sorry, I know it's been a while, but let's get straight into it and spin the spinner to find out what we're making. And it's a pouch. So you'll need your yarn of choice, handy dandy scissors, optional stitch marker, tapestry needle, and for your hook, you're going to want to size down half a size or so. I'd normally use a 4mm with this yarn, but I'm going to be using a 3.5mm to help with stitch definition. You might have to experiment a bit at the beginning to figure out the right hook size. Begin by making a slip knot and chaining a multiple of 2 plus 1 for our turning chain. For every 2 chains you make, you'll have 1 mini bean. For mine, I'm doing 16 plus 1, so I'll have 8 mini beans. Once you're ready, turn your chain over so that you're looking at the back bumps. Skip the first 2 and insert your hook into the third back bump. Yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over again, then reinsert your hook in the stitch. Yarn over and pull it through. You should now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over one more time and pull through all 4 loops. Then chain 1 to complete the stitch. And that's our first mini bean. Now we're going to skip a chain and insert our hook into the next one. Yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over and reinsert your hook. Yarn over and pull through. There's our 4 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And chain 1 to finish it. Skip a chain and insert your hook into the next one. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and reinsert. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops and chain 1 to finish it. Continue like that all the way across and I'll meet you at the very end. So I'm making a mini bean in the very last chain right now. And then you need to chain 1 to complete the stitch. And then chain 1 again for our turning chain and turn your work. Row 2. Now we're going to be making our stitches into this space to the left of each mini bean. It's easier to see when you kind of stretch it out. It looks like an upside down triangle. If yours have a really big gap, try sizing down your hook or using a tighter tension. And if it's really tight and hard to find, then do the opposite. Size up or loosen your tension. But once you're ready, insert your hook into that first space. Then yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over and reinsert your hook into the space. Yarn over and pull it through. You should now have 4 loops. Yarn over one more time and pull through all 4. Then chain 1 to finish the stitch. Let's do a couple more together. Find the next space and insert your hook. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and reinsert your hook. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over again and pull through all 4 loops. And chain 1 to finish. One more time. Find the next space. Insert. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and reinsert, yarn over and pull through, yarn over one more time, pull through all 4, and chain 1, which I didn't show myself doing. But keep going like that all the way across and I'll meet you for the final stitch of the row. So there's the final space right on the very edge, and now I'm going to make the last mini bean. Once you're done, make your 2 chains and turn your work. And that's all you're going to do. It's a 1-row repeat. Keep going until you're happy with yours, and I'll meet you at the end to turn it into a pouch. You want a nice long rectangle that we're going to fold in half and sew the sides closed. So here's how mine looks. I ended up making 25 rows for mine. We're just going to make some simple slip stitches to close the sides. So make a slip knot, then fold your piece in half. It's totally reversible, so there's no right or wrong side. Start on either side and line up all of the rows. Once you're ready, insert your hook into some loops at the very bottom. This is pretty hectic and messy to look at, but it's also a very forgiving stitch. As long as you're working in the same row, it doesn't really matter which loops you use. Once you've inserted your hook through both sides, yarn over and make a slip stitch. Then go to the next row and do the same thing. Find some loops and make a slip stitch. Continue making a slip stitch all the way across until you reach the very top. Keep checking to make sure your rows are lined up correctly. Once you've reached the very top and you're working into the last row, try to go through multiple loops on each side and make your slip stitch. Then go through just one loop on each side and make another slip stitch. This way it's secured nicely at the top with no gaps. When you're done, chain one and fasten off. Don't worry about leaving a long tail, we're just going to weave it in later. And now repeat, slip stitch along the other side, and then we're going to make the drawstring and finish it up. So here's mine, it's officially looking like a pouch. We're going to weave in all of these ends later, so go ahead and flip this the right way out and we'll make the drawstring. Make a slip knot and chain, chain, chain until it fits all the way around the pouch with a little bit of excess to tie it with. The total number of chains you make is going to depend on your pouch size, yarn, hook size, and tension, so just keep checking how it looks around your pouch, and then chain an extra 2 because we're going to lose 2 when we fasten off. Once you're done, cut the yarn. Don't worry about a long tail. Tug the tail until you lose a chain, and then tug your beginning end and you're going to lose a chain on that side too. Now both sides of the chain are nice and secured. Now let's weave it around the pouch. Find the spots on the front where you want the drawstring to come out. I'm going to keep one mini bean between where each end will come out. So insert your hook beneath the top row from the outside to the inside of the pouch and pull the chain through. Then we want it to be coming out and back in around the side of it. So insert your hook from the outside to the inside of the pouch, right along the edge of the front side, and pull the chain through. Then insert your hook from the inside to the outside of the pouch along the edge of the back side and pull the chain through. Now we're going to have it come out and back in along the back. I'm going to have it match how the front will look, but you can make it as wide as you like. Pull the chain to the outside of the pouch, then back to the inside. Now bring it out and back in along the other side of the pouch. Great job, everyone. Now bring it out through the front. So cute. Now you can weave these ends into the chain, or you can just trim them to the same length. Just give them a little tug first to make sure they're definitely secured. Now let's weave in these ends while we go over thoughts and ideas for this stitch. We're just going to weave them all around until they're totally hidden. So first, let's talk about easiness. I think that this is a pretty easy stitch. I definitely had some trial and error at the very beginning trying to figure out the best hook size and tension, but once you figure that out, it's easy peasy. I love a mindless one-row repeat pattern. And cuteness, I love a stitch that has some fun texture. I wish it was a little more dense. I think it's a bit too gappy for my preference, but it's super fun and gives you something that's a little fun and different. Ideas for this stitch. My mind immediately goes to a scarf. I think it would be so cute, especially with a variegated yarn. Or in the same vein, a cowl or a wrap would be adorable. I think that this would be a cute bag if you add a liner to it. You don't want things falling out. I also feel like you could use this to make a cute vest for an amigurumi. A little specific, but that's what I'm picturing in my head. I don't know, do you see the vision? What else? Maybe a pillow cover or a throw blanket. Those are good go-to projects for a lot of stitches. Sweater, cardigan, headband, this would look really cute in a variety of projects. Now, finally, reuse or retire. Personally, I don't really see myself using this again. Maybe I'd use it in a mixed stitch sampler type of project to add a fun pop of texture. But even though this is fun and cute, I think I have too many stitches that I like more than this one. And that was it. Thank you so much for joining me today, whether this was your first or you've been following along from the beginning. Sorry I went AWOL for a while, but all of your support through the series has meant the world to me. So thank you so much. And from now on until we reach the end, I'll be posting 2 to 3 stitch tutorials every week, so check back in a few days to see what we're making for N. I'm really excited to share it with you. If you want to help support my channel, then a like and a comment goes a long way, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new tutorials. But thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you soon. And as always, happy crocheting and stay lucky. Bye!